Excuse me, what time is it?
It's 8:11.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, sir. What time is it?
It's 8:30.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Jessica. Today I'm going to help you learn how to tell time. So this one, we can say it's 5:15, it's 5:15, or it's 15 minutes past 5, or you can say it's a quarter past 5. It's a quarter past 5. So if you see, there are many different options. Hi, I'm Jessica. Today I'm going to help you learn how to tell time. Tell time deals with when you look at a clock that you know what time it is. So in English we use the verb tell when we're looking at the clock to figure out what time it is. So I will help you learn how to tell time. Telling time is important because if you ask someone, what time is it? Excuse me, do you have the time? They're going to answer a certain way and you need to be able to understand it. Also, if someone asks you what time it is, then it's good for you to know how to answer them. So there are two types of clocks. And you might say, Jessica, I don't need to learn how to tell time because I can just look at my cell phone and see what time it is. This type of clock would be a digital clock where it just tells you the numbers. But you also need to know how to look at a clock like this. I know this one has the answers on it. Or like this, right? This doesn't have the answers like here, but these clocks are what we call analog clock. So when you're in the classroom or maybe at your work, you're going to see one of these analog clocks and you need to know how to tell what time it is. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start out telling time with this clock. So if you didn't know, these black things right here are what we call the hands. So like your hands, but these are the hands of the clock. The little hand is going to be the hour hand, and then the longer hand is going to be for the minutes. In English, we always read the small hand first, the hour hand, and then you read the minute hand. So for this right now, if you see the little hand's pointing up at 12, so it's 12, and then the 6 down here would be 30. For each of these numbers, it's going to be 5. So if you see here, this one is going to be 5. Let me show you on the easier clock. So this is our easier clock. You're going to see right here how it has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to increase in intervals of 5. So if you see here, if it is at the 1, it would be 5. So if you see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and when you get to the 12, it will be 0, like 0, 0, or a clock, but 0, 0. So back to our other clock. All of these we know are going to be by 5. And like we already learned, this small hand is for the hour. So if I put it here, now what time is it? Good, you should have said 2:30. Remember, again, this is the minute hand. So if I put it here, let's move it to this. Whoops, it doesn't want to stay. Okay, if I put it to this, can you tell what time it is? You should have said 3 because this is pointing here, 3. And it might even be a little bit, actually it will be a little bit under the 3 because when the clock moves around, this is going to get closer to 4 because it's almost 4 o'clock. So actually it will be after the 3, but it is still closest to the 3. And then here would be 45 because when it goes closer, when it's going to go closer to 4 o'clock, this is going to move closer to the 4 and then like this. Okay, let's look back at the easier, helpful clock. Here, you're going to see we have the 2 hands, and the blue one is the hour hand. It's shorter. And then the red one, that's longer, will be our minute hand. You're going to see they have some other things in here. Let's talk about it. So if you see here, the small hand first 5, and then it's a little after 50. Sometimes it's not exact, right? So this one actually 50, 51, 52. There. So it's actually 5:52. You might tell someone if they ask you what time is it, then you might say it's almost 6 o'clock, right? Because if it's 5:52, it's almost 6 o'clock. So someone might say, oh, it's almost 6 o'clock. Or if it's 5:52, it's 8 minutes to 6, right? 5:52 is 8 minutes to 6. So they might also say it's 8 to 6, meaning it's 8 minutes to 6 o'clock. So it's 8 to 6 or 8 minutes to 6. So something that's very useful to know would be, let me move it up here so you can see. When you look at the 3, the 6, and the 9. So many times for 3, this is 15, we'll say quarter. Quarter past. Or over here, if it's almost going to, you're going to see quarter to. So this quarter past quarter to means 15 minutes. So let me give you a new time. So don't get confused with like this right here. So remember the little hand here is the hour. So if you see here, if this is going to be the hour hand here, 15 minutes, you can say quarter past, and then you will begin with this and say, it's a quarter past 5. It's 15 minutes past 5. Past means it has gone past it in this direction. You want to think going to the right. 2 is going towards the 12. So this one, we can say it's 5:15, it's 5:15, or it's 15 minutes past 5, or you can say it's a quarter past 5. It's a quarter past 5. So if you see, there are many different options. Let's try another one. Okay, what about this one? Do you know what time is it? If you see here, it's going towards the 11, and right here it's at 45. So it's going towards the 12. It's almost going to be a new hour. So you can say it's a quarter to 11. So if you see here, quarter to. So you can say it's a quarter to, and then the hour. It's a quarter to 11. We can also say it's 10:45. It's 10:45. So you can say it's 10:45, or it's a quarter to 11, meaning it's 15 minutes until 11 o'clock. So remember, 2 will be going this direction where it's going to change into a new hour, and the past means past that time. Past that time. Let's talk about half past. Half past means 30 minutes. 30 minutes past that time. Let me show you a new time. What's the hour? Hopefully you said 1. And then if you see here at the 6, half past. So what you would do is you begin with this again. You would say half past, and then the hour. Half past 1. It's half past 1, which is the same as saying it's 1:30. It's 1:30. So it's half past 1. It's 1:30. Do you understand? Hopefully it's clear for you. Okay, some other things you can see. Let me move these out of the way. If you want, you could say it's 5 past 12. So I just moved this out of the way so you can see. But you could say 5 past a number, 10 past a number, we already know a quarter past a number, 20 past, 25 past, half past. So you're going to see going this way all the way up to 6, you could use these terms. If you see after 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you could use 2. So you can say it's 25, meaning it's 25 minutes to, and then whatever time. It's 22, quarter to, 10 to, 5 to. If you see, it's going to go lower in number because it's getting closer to the new hour. So AM would be in the morning before noon, and then PM would be after. We actually use AM from the Latin to mean before midday and PM to be after midday. So it would be, you could think of AM like morning, PM would be afternoon, evening, and night. For AM, you can write it A period, M period, if you see here with lowercase letters, or you could do capital A, capital M. For PM, you could do the same, P period, M period, lowercase, or capital P, capital M. You just want to be consistent. If you write, as you can see here, if you write 9:15 a.m. like this, then make sure here, if you write PM, it's the same. If you're going to use capital letters here, use capital letters there. Be what we call consistent. Let's talk about two other important words when we're talking about time. So if you see this time, there are two ways to say it. Do you know what time it is? Depends on what time of day, right? So if it is when morning hits the afternoon, then 12 here would be 12 p.m., which we would say noon. So some people like to eat lunch at noon or around noon. If it's at nighttime, when PM hits AM, then we would say midnight. So if it's 12 a.m., then we will say midnight. Some other thing to keep in mind would be you cannot say 12 o'clock a.m. If you add a.m. or p.m., then you just say the number and a.m. or p.m. So you cannot say 12 o'clock p.m., 12 o'clock a.m., 7 o'clock a.m., 7 o'clock p.m. You cannot combine a clock with a.m. or p.m. So you want to just say 7 a.m. or 7 o'clock, 5 p.m. or 5 o'clock. Okay, it's your turn to practice. I'm going to show you a time on the clock and I want you to tell me what time it is. Okay, here's your first one. What time is it? Okay, so hopefully you said 3 o'clock. It's, right, small hand here, big hand here, so 3 o'clock. Okay, let's try another one. What time is it? Okay, so hopefully you said 4:25, or you could have said 25 past 4. Next one, what time is it? So you should have said 8:15. Or what else could you have said? You could have said, remember for 15, for the 3, you could say quarter. Is it a quarter to or a quarter past? Okay, do you remember this way going would be past. This way going is to. So we could also say a quarter past 8. A quarter past 8 or 8:15. What time is it? You should have said 10:30, or you could have said half past 10. Can you tell me what time is it? So here, right, it's close to 11. It's going towards the 12, but the hour is still 11. And remember, this is 55. So there are several ways you could have said this. So did you say it is 11:55? Or did you say it's 5 to 12? 5 to 12? You could have said either of those. Or, like I said, if you wanted to say it's almost 12 o'clock, that's fine. Because some people, they might say, well, it's 5 to 12. They might just say, oh, it's almost 12. Or it's almost noon, or it's almost midnight. Down here would be your digital clock, so let's write in the time. So for this one, if you looked on the digital clock, it would be like this, 11:55. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it's easy now to tell time. And next time someone asks you, what time is it? Hopefully it'll be very easy for you to tell them the time. Also, work on your listening skills. Go ask someone, excuse me, what time is it? And then the way they answer can help you to practice what you just learned now. Also, if you want more practice, go to my website. I have some exercises there for you that you can practice by looking at clocks and telling the time. Okay, I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.